Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Courtney Burgess, you are literally telling Kim Porter's kids they can go to HE double hockey sticks. If you guys don't know, Kim Porter's children, and let's just say it, Diddy's team, who for months were saying that Kim never had a diary, everything that was written and said about Kim is false. Well, guess what? They pretty much admitted it. It actually existed, and they moved the goalposts, changed the narrative. They said, okay, fine. There was something my mom wrote. There are things that was said, but guess what? You don't have a right to print them. We are sending you a cease and desist and immediately return all items to us because we own the estate. However, not to be outdone, Courtney Burgess, who is represented by Ariel Mitchell, has fired back at Diddy's sons over the Kim Porter book. Interesting enough, it's only Quincy and Quincy and Justin that are suing. The daughters' names are off of this lawsuit, which lets you know that I think this adds more credibility, that this is Diddy's whole thing, and that he is running this campaign. And at the end of the day, Diddy can feel like he wants to do a lot of things to everybody else's daughters, but he keeps his daughters out of this mess. Anyway, let's get into this. This is directly from TMZ, so take it with a grain of salt. They said new Diddy witness fires back at Diddy's sons over Kim Porter book. They said the guy who's hawking a Kim Porter book allegedly based on her diary is taking shots at his legal battle with Diddy and Kim's sons and telling the boys they can screw off. Courtney Burgess and his attorney, Ariel Mitchell, fired off a nasty response to Christian and Quincy Combs after the brothers sent Burgess and Ariel Mitchell a cease and desist over alleged Porter tell-all. They said in a legal response obtained by TMZ, Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell take issue with Christian and Quincy claiming he's trying to capitalize on Kim's hard-earned fame by selling Kim Porter Tell-It-All. And they say Kim was not an actor or entertainer, and her fame was solely tied to being Diddy's long-term girlfriend. TMZ goes on to say, cheap shots aside, and it was a cheap shot, but they said Courtney Burgess says he absolutely has the copyright to the book and says Kim gave him the rights before her death. Now, as TMZ reported, the brothers Grimm, the baby oil Brandons, the Combs brothers, say that they became the rightful heirs and owners of Kim's intellectual property rights following her November 2018 passing, and therefore her purported diary entries belong to them. However, Ariel Mitchell tells TMZ that Kim and Burgos and Courtney had a mutual friend who was a music producer back in the day, and they met through this person. And Kim told Burgess in a phone call that she was going to give him a copy of her diary memoir before sending it over to him. And that's how he got the rights. TMZ actually spoke to Courtney and his lawyer Ariel a few weeks ago in New York City, and they told us they had just gotten done with a federal grand jury and were going to meet with federal prosecutors about Diddy's case. So let me get this straight. When they did that whole courtroom thing, they called TMZ. That wasn't just media, that was TMZ on the courthouse steps. They said, we're told the Fed seized Courtney's phone, which contained a copy of the flash drive data used in Kim's book. Kim and Diddy's sons also told Courtney they wanted an accounting of any money he's made off the book. And Courtney says their cease and desist is a desperate ploy crafted by Diddy to extort money, and says this pathetic attempt illustrates just how dire the financial situation is for Diddy and his sons. And they're saying the gloves are definitely off. Okay, listen, let me just say this. One, I still have serious concerns on whether Ariel Mitchell and Courtney Burgess are agents of chaos. Diddy has unleashed his PR strategy. If you guys don't know, things didn't go too well in court for the prosecution. People have serious concerns that Diddy may actually be released on bail somewhere in New York. Interestingly enough, New York is the epicenter for a lot of witnesses and for a lot of victims. It's interesting that the judge will let him actually stay in New York. Again, it is being tried in the Southern District of New York, so maybe they figure it'll be easier to keep an eye on him. Listen, we did live tweeting from that. Go ahead and check that out. There's a whole 3-hour live. If you don't want to listen to the 3-hour live, I made a quick video explaining everything the judge said inside. And this was directly from live tweets. It's on my channel right now. But let's get back into this. I've talked about it in other videos with Ariel and with Courtney. I do believe that they are agents of chaos, or I have serious suspicions, okay? They have not filed a defamation case against Diddy and his attorneys after they got called out in federal court saying they're lying about they're lying about the videos, they're lying about this, they're lying about that. Now, interestingly enough, because baby, there's no narrative. We're just going to report the truth as we see it. Interestingly enough, again, there's no narrative we're tied to. When I said I thought that they were agents of chaos, Diddy's team, when they first said that there's no video. Okay. There's no victims. Okay. And they also said that there was no Kim Porter diary. I'll be sure. The alleged deadbeat father, and by alleged, I mean go listen to what his kids have to say, said that the book was false and said that hinted there was no diary, even though his actual words are, he said just the part about him and Diddy was false. Okay, fine. I don't know what happened between them. Sure. But they first started off, Kim's best friend and everyone else, saying that Kim was never writing a book. She didn't have any memoirs. There was nothing there. And it was complete fabrication. This was a narrative that they had told us for months. When that one Kim Porter book came out, if you guys didn't get it, I did a live where I read it. They are saying it's false, so take it with a grain of salt. But I did 2 lives where I actually read the whole book in detail. It was a quick read. They said that everything in that book was pure fantasy and fiction. So take that live as a point of fiction, a fan fiction. The point that I'm trying to say is they spent months telling us that it didn't exist, that it wasn't true, and that it was all lies, only for them to send a cease and desist and admit what a lot of people have been saying for a while and what Courtney Burgess has been saying for a while. These documents actually exist, and they are confirming they exist. And what's more, they're saying that they actually want the items. They're saying they want the items. They're saying that they want the property returned back to the estate of Kim Porter, which is what they own. So again, a lot of people are saying, what is the truth? Listen, in these coming days, weeks, months, even with the Diddy trial, there seems to be no heroes, okay? At least not one has been presented to us. I mean, besides Cassie, Little Rod, Tiffany Red, Azza, this, that, and the third, which coincidentally I did interviews with. Go ahead and check them out. But when I say there seems to be no heroes, a lot of people surrounding the situation are trying to make money from it. They're trying to make a buck from it, and that's fine. But I think we need to start looking at what everybody says at every step of the way. Again, it has not escaped my attention, and I find it very, very interesting that Diddy's team has already been caught in several lies. But this biggest lie that really has me concerned is whether or not that book, those notes, the diary, whatever you want to call it, the memorialization of Kim's thoughts and her accounting of what actually happened in her relationship with Diddy, well, it actually does exist. So now, forget about what they said for months before. Now they're locked in a bitter battle about whether those notes are going to be released. Again, trust no one in this situation. I'm side-eyeing everyone. But one thing that all parties seem to be arguing over is the notes that everybody said didn't exist. They actually do. And Kim's children want them returned to them. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye.